Mr. McTavish was standing at Stan Kozlowski's counter, red-faced from an argument that had been long and heated, but at last Mr. McTavish had talked himself speechless. The cause of the trouble stood on the counter between the two men. It was a wooden box across the top of which was a wire mesh, forming a rough but comfortable little home. In it, nestled amongst the straw, were two spotted guinea pigs. They had no idea what the humans were saying and busied themselves by greedily eating the remains of a huge lettuce. Disputes over the postage and packaging of animals was quite a rare occurrence at the parcel depot of Westmoreland train station, perched on a blustery Scottish headland. It was the sort of place where nothing much ever happened, unless you count Mrs. McGonagall's cat getting stuck up the station clock. Twice. Stan Kozlowski had been the station master of Westmoreland for many years, and had built a reputation in the town for his newfound taste for haggis, his ability to toss a caber just as well as any Scotsman, and for his strict adherence to the rules. And he knew the rules said pigs cost £5 each for handling. "Do as you please then," voiced Stan in his simple no-nonsense voice. "Pay for them and take them, or don't pay for them and leave them here, Mr. McTavish. Rules are rules, and Stan Kozlowski is not going to be getting in trouble for breaking them." "But you everlastingly stupid fool!" shouted Mr. McTavish, madly shaking a flimsy piece of paper beneath Stan's nose. "Can you read here in your own plain printed rates? Pets, domestic, Firthbridge to Westmoreland, 50p each." He tossed the paper in the air. "What more do you want? Aren't they pets? Aren't they domestic? Aren't they properly gauged? What?" With a serious look on his face, Stan reached for the company's massive rulebook. "Let's see," Stan mused, pulling out the enormous Parcels Express rulebook. It was a hefty tome, thick enough to serve as a doorstop or, on one memorable occasion, a ladder for Mrs. McGonagall's adventurous cat. He flipped through the pages until he found the section he was looking for. He pointed to a paragraph and began to read it aloud. The pigs listened with interest, as if they could understand every word. "Page 32, section 2.1, pigs." "They're pets," Mr. McTavish interrupted sarcastically. "P-E-T-S, 50p each. There are two of them. 1, 2. 2 times 50p is £1. Can you understand that? I offer you £1. Stan continued resolutely. "Pigs, postage and handling, £5 each. Pigs is pigs, be they Irish pigs or Spanish pigs or even guinea pigs. To Parcels Express and to Stanislav Kozlowski, they're all the same. Their origin doesn't change the shipping rate, Mr. McTavish. It would be no different if they were Dutch pigs or Russian pigs. I am here to manage the Parcels Express business, not to converse in multiple languages with foreign pigs as to ascertain whether they are Chinese or Polish." Mr. McTavish paused for a moment, bit his lip, and then threw his arms up in frustration. "Fine!" he yelled. "You'll be hearing from me about this. Your boss will be hearing about this. It's an outrage. I offered you 50p each, and you refused it. Keep the guinea pigs, but mark my words, sir, I will not pay a penny more." Stan watched Mr. McTavish storm out of the station, muttering under his breath. He shrugged and turned to the wooden box on the counter. The two guinea pigs looked up at him with curious eyes and squeaked softly. Stan smiled and reached for a lettuce leaf to feed them. He liked animals, even if they were foreign pigs, and if Mr. McTavish didn't come back and pay, maybe he could sell them to a circus, or send them back to Guinea as a gift. After all, how much trouble could two little guinea pigs cause? He was about to find out. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. McTavish was fuming as he walked there. He couldn't believe that Stan had refused to accept the 50p for the guinea pigs. He was a miser with money and had thought that they would be the cheapest and easiest way to make his pet-loving son happy. He had not expected to pay more for the standard shipping than for the animals themselves. He decided to write an online complaint to the Parcels Express team, demanding a refund. He opened his laptop and typed furiously. He sat back and admired his work. He pressed send and waited for a response. He hoped that someone at the company would see reason and apologize for their mistake. The next day, when Stan Kozlowski arrived at the station, he heard a loud noise coming from the office. He opened the door and gasped. The wooden box had broken open and the guinea pigs had been nibbling on papers, chewing on wires and making a terrible mess. Stan felt a cold sweat on his forehead. He saw them and grabbed a broom and tried to herd them back into the box, but it was no use. They were too quick. He needed a bigger box, or better yet, a cage. He looked around and saw an old bird cage in the corner. It was a bit rusty and dusty, but it would have to do. Stan managed to catch the guinea pigs and put them gently in the cage with some more lettuce that he had brought with them. He locked it securely and breathed a sigh of relief. Ugh. Then he heard some really high-pitched squeaks coming from behind him. He turned around and saw 6 baby guinea pigs staring at him from the broken box. He blinked in disbelief. How did they do that? Did they have some kind of magic trick? He remembered reading recently that the guinea pigs would multiply very fast, but he didn't think it was that fast. Meanwhile, at the head office of Parcels Express, the social media team were busy monitoring and responding to online feedback from customers. They used a predictive insights and global sentiments software program, PIGS for short, that scanned the internet for any mentions of Parcels Express and alerted them to any positive or negative comments. They were pinged about a tweet from a user named Scott'sAce219. The tweet said, "At Parcels Express, I ordered 2 guinea pigs online and paid 50p each for them, but your agent at Westmoreland Station wanted to charge me £5 each. He said they were pigs, not pets. Guinea pigs do not oink or roll in mud. Hashtag Parcels Express sucks." The social media team were alarmed by this tweet. It had already been retweeted and replied to by several other users. Ones like Guinea Lover 42. "That's outrageous. Guinea pigs are not pigs. They are adorable and cuddly pets. Hashtag Guinea pigs are not pigs." Squeaker Lover 69. "At Parcels Express, how dare you insult guinea pigs like that? They are the best animals ever. Hashtag guinea pigs rule." And Custard Customer Charlie. "At Scott'sAce219, I had a similar problem with them. They charged me £15 horse rate for a seahorse. Hashtag Parcels Express rip-off." The social media team knew they had to act fast and respond to this tweet. They wanted to show that Parcels Express cared about its customers and was willing to resolve any issues. They typed very quickly. "We are sorry to hear about your experience with our service. We value your feedback and want to make things right. We will check with our finance team and get back to you as soon as possible. Hashtag Piggy Express cares." They hoped that this reply would calm down Scott'sAce219. They also hoped that the finance team would be able to sort out the matter quickly and easily. They were wrong on both counts. The finance team of Parcels Express could not sort the matter out quickly or easily. For one thing, Stan was too busy to answer their calls. The finance team finally got hold of Stan on the phone. "Hello, this is the Parcels Express finance team. We are calling about a customer complaint regarding 2 guinea pigs shipped from Firthbridge to Westmoreland." "2? No, they are 22 now," Stan said. "It doesn't matter what they are either. The point is, they are uncollected animal that requires special handling and care, which means an additional charge of £5 per item. What? That's in our rulebook. He read them page 32, section 3.2, that he had memorized by heart anyway. And pigs is pigs, and they eat a lot of lettuce. The finance team was silent for a moment. Are you kidding us? They said finally. No, I am not kidding. This is a serious business. They did some calculations and realised that the postage and additional charge for upkeep and handling of 22 guinea pigs came to £222. That's a bit ridiculous, they exclaimed. Well, now you can tell Mr. McTavish, Stan said. The finance team gulped, smiled, and turned to the social media team. The social media team decided to tweet back at Scott Says 219 to try and settle the matter. They typed, "At Scott Says 219, we have checked with our finance team and we have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that we have reduced the charge and given you the pet rate of 50 pence each for the guinea pigs. The bad news is that there are now 22 of them, so including the food, bedding and care, the total amount you owe us is £222. Please pay and collect them at your earliest convenience. Hashtag Piggy Express apologises." They hoped against hope that this reply would satisfy Scott Says 219 and end the controversy. They were wrong about that too. The tweet from Parcels Express caused a huge uproar on the internet. People were amazed. Some of them tweeted things like, "Animal lover Julie, at Parcels Express, how could you possibly charge that much money for those guinea pigs? Shame on you. Hashtag free all guinea pigs for free." Or comedy fan Nigel, "This is the funniest thing I've seen on Twitter. You guys are hilarious. Hashtag Piggate." Scott Says 219, Mr. McTavish of course, went pale. Oh, silly him, trying to pinch pennies on his son's birthday. Instead of accepting his faults and backing down, his miserly ways continued to rule him. He posted a selfie of him and his original online order confirmation, showing that he had only ordered 2 guinea pigs. The picture went more viral, and more people joined in the online protest, demanding justice for Scott Says 219 and his guinea pigs. Some even started an online petition, which gathered enough signatures to be read out in Parliament. The story became an online sensation. It was discussed on social media, blogs, podcasts, and forums. It was commented on by celebrities, politicians, activists, and influencers. It was parodied on cartoons, memes, jokes, and songs. Everyone had an opinion on the guinea pig saga. Everyone except the Parcels Express legal team. They had no idea what was going on. They were too busy with their other cases and paperwork to pay attention to social media or the news. They only found out about it when they received a letter from McTavish's lawyer. The letter said, "We hope you have lots of money because our client, Scott Says 219, is suing you for all of it. Yours sincerely, McTerrier and McDoom, Mint Street, Edinburgh, solicitors for Mr. John McTavish." The Parcels Express legal team read this letter with disbelief. They couldn't believe that such a trivial matter had escalated into such a huge lawsuit. They needed to get their senior counsel on the matter. But she was on holiday paddling up the Amazon River with no access to phone or email. They'd just have to wait it out. Next month, Trish, the senior legal counsel of Parcels Express, had finally reached an airport to return from her amazing Amazon adventure. She was shocked to find out that her team had been sued over guinea pig shipping rates. She immediately phoned a very busy Stan at Westmoreland. "Stan, this is Trish from legal. I'm calling about the 22 guinea pigs." "It's 322. Can't talk, goodbye." So Trish emailed Stan, the social media, finance and legal teams. Hi all, I'm instructing you to send back all the guinea pigs to our head office immediately. We will take care of them and find a suitable home for them all. We will also deal with Mr. McTavish and his lawyers and try to settle this matter out of court. Please pack all the guinea pigs in secure and comfortable cages and tell finance how much you've spent on the lettuces and straw. Thanks, Trish Angelita, Senior Counsel. Stan Kozlowski read the email with relief. He was glad that someone else was finally taking over the problem. He had spent all his time and money on them and had neglected his other duties and customers. He counted the guinea pigs again and found out that he had 897 guinea pigs. They had taken over the whole station. They were everywhere. In cages, in boxes, in baskets, in bags, in drawers, in cupboards, in lockers, in bins, in buckets, in barrels, in crates, and even in backpacks he had borrowed from the lost luggage room. Stan did his best sending crate after crate of guinea pigs back to headquarters. But Stan was not the only one who was overwhelmed by the guinea pigs now. At the head office of Parcels Express, the warehouse was full of cages of these guinea pigs. The staff had no idea what to do with them. They tried to feed them and keep them clean, but they could barely keep up with all the other parcels which were stacking up and spilling out all over the warehouse racking. Stan received an email one evening with just one line. "Stop sending pigs! Warehouse full!" He emailed back, "Can't stop," and he kept on sending them. Stan realized that he couldn't pack and send all the guinea pigs by himself. He needed help. He called his nephew and asked him to come to the station. He also asked him to bring several of his friends. His nephew and his friends arrived at the station and were amazed by the sight of the guinea pigs. They had never seen so many guinea pigs in their lives. They wondered how Stan had managed to take care of them. "Uncle Stan, what have you done?" his nephew asked. It's a long story, trust me, but let's try and push on to the last page, right?" Stan explained the whole situation to them and asked them to help pack the guinea pigs and send them to head office. They eagerly agreed and started to work. They gathered all the cages they could find and filled them with guinea pigs and carried them carefully onto the carriages. They worked for hours, packing and loading. They filled up whole carriages with cages. They ran out of cages and started using boxes. They ran out of boxes and started using bags. They ran out of bags and started using anything they could find. They finally finished packing all the lovely guinea pigs. They tallied the lists again and found out that they had 1,999 guinea pigs, more than when he started sending them back to headquarters. Stan didn't know how this had happened, and he didn't care how this had happened. He just wanted to pack them all off. At the end of the day, a particularly empty train turned up and they loaded the last of the cages onto the train, taking up 9 whole carriages. The guinea pigs seemed to be waving goodbye. Stan waved goodbye back. Now, Mr. McTavish had been surprised at the groundswell of support for the guinea pigs and himself. He thought people had misjudged his mean behaviour, but in a positive way, and really gone so far in offering him all kinds of generous support. And do you know, he thought, if they've misjudged me, maybe I've misjudged myself. And although he could barely afford it, he went straight out and bought the most expensive pet he could think of for his son, a horse, and one for himself too, and they could spend countless hours touring the coastal bridleways of their beautiful rugged homeland together. Back at the Westmoreland train station, Stan stood in his quiet and empty office. He had loved so much of the guinea pigs' company, but was glad that he would never see that many guinea pigs again. The office was pretty much empty again, bar 2 cages he had kept back, in each of which he had 2 guinea pigs. He named them Greek and Spanish and Irish and Dutch, and he loved them all very, very much. There were 2 males in the left cage and 2 females in the right-hand cage. Or were there?